quorum till we get started? Excellent. You're good, we could get started then?
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, well, welcome everyone. Thank you again for your patience. And with all the technology pieces, it's still right at 9 o'clock when we begin. So well done to our team. I would like to call the August 2025 Committee on Accreditation meeting to order. Will staff please call the roll?
Allison Leggett,
Here.
Augustin Cervantes, Ann Jones,
Here.
Patrick McKee,
Here.
Ellen Hallis,
Here.
Mike Hillis,
Here.
Malika Bryant,
Here.
Liana Sykes, Connie Campbell,
Here.
Jessica Bogonovich,
Here.
Michelle Hall.
Here.
Have a quorum.
Thank you so much. And we'd also like to welcome, we have Commissioner Davis with us this morning. So welcome, Commissioner Davis. Always a pleasure to see you here, and thank you for joining our meeting today.
Thank you. And I will be joining all of your meetings this year. I got them all calendared.
Excellent. Well, hopefully we get to see you in person as well. We have our virtual meeting today, but thank you as always for your support of the work that we do.
Thank you.
Well, good morning, all. We would like to remind you that this is a video teleconference meeting. Members of the committee, as well as the public, are joining the meeting from numerous places in the state today, including the commission offices in Sacramento. Please be aware that we are going to mute your microphones to eliminate any background noises that may get in the way of others hearing what is being said by the speakers. This meeting is being recorded. After the meeting ends, the archived audio and video will be available on the commission's website. Members of the committee and the public are asked to please ensure your Zoom identification contains your first and last name accurately, so we are able to call on you appropriately, and also that we can be sure to record all names accurately in the meeting minutes. To update your name in Zoom, click on the three dots in the window with your picture and then click Rename. When it is time to take up an item, we'll need a moment to move all relevant participants to panelist status so they can be seen and heard. Participants will need to turn on their camera and unmute once it is time for your item. For our committee members, if you wish to make a comment, please use the raise your hand feature, which is located at the bottom of the Zoom screen. Because we are a public body and must conduct our business in the public forum, we ask that committee members please do not use the chat feature, except to notify us that there's a technical issue preventing you from hearing or speaking during the meeting. When you make your motions, please state the motion in full, so that there is no question what the motion is. In accordance with the Bagley-Keene Open Meeting Act, because this is a virtual meeting, all votes will be conducted via roll call. Just before the vote, we will remind everyone to make sure you are unmuted so that the recording captures your vote. If you're unable to respond via video or audio for some reason, you may, as a last resort, make your vote known through the chat function. The secretary will have to read your name and your vote when she gets to that part of the roll call vote to make it an official part of the record and to make sure the public knows what the vote is. Again, this should only be used as a last resort in the case of some type of technical difficulty. Members, if you have to leave the meeting for any point in time, please raise your hand and let us know so that we can be sure we have quorum at all times and so that the record for the minutes can be accurate. Please do the same when you return to the meeting. Members of the public wishing to provide public comment during the discussion of an agenda item will be given the opportunity to speak during the public comment period for each item and then at the end of the meeting. The committee chair will announce when the public comment period is open during the presentation of the agenda item and ask for anyone who wishes to comment to notify the meeting moderator as explained below. Please understand there are multiple public comment periods. During each agenda item, there will be time set aside for public comment only for those comments applicable to the specific agenda item being discussed. There will be an open public comment period at the end of the meeting for all other topics. Please know that the COA members cannot respond or speak to topics that are not on the agenda. All public comment is limited to 2 minutes. Participants who are attending in person. Individuals who would like to make comment during the meeting who are attending in person at one of the locations listed on the agenda will need to complete a public comment card to indicate what item they would like to speak on and provide it to the COA member or in-person host at your location. When the co-chair calls for public comment, the COA member or in-person host at that location should indicate if they have received the public comment card, and the member of the public will be invited to speak. For our participants via the Zoom webcast, Individuals who join the meeting via the Zoom webcast will need to click on the raise hand icon to indicate that you would like to speak on the item. Staff will notify the individual when it is their turn to speak by calling the name listed in their Zoom ID used by the member of the public when logging into the meeting. At that time, the individual will be prompted to unmute their microphone and will be asked to share their comment. For individuals who are joining the meeting via US toll-free, will need to press *9 on their phone to inform the meeting moderator that they would like to speak on any item. The meeting moderator will notify the individual it is their turn to speak by calling the last 4 digits of their phone number and will allow them to unmute their telephone. At that time, the individual will be prompted to press *6 and will be able to share their comment. There's also a time designated for general public comment at the end of the meeting. With that, do any of our committee members have any questions about today's meeting protocols? All right, seeing none, now it's an honor to welcome the newest members of the Committee on Accreditation. Joining us today, we have Michelle Hall, who is from Chapman University, Jessica Bogdanovich from UMass Global, and Connie Campbell from the Santa Clara County Office of Education. We would like to give each of you just a moment if you'd like to introduce yourselves and briefly share a little bit about yourselves. And since we're virtual, to make it easy, I'll just call on you if you can unmute and just introduce yourselves to the committee and share a little bit about yourself. If we can begin with Michelle Hall, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm the Assistant Dean of Accreditation and Assessment here at Chapman University, and I've been working here on these projects for about 7 years, and I'm really excited and honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you here this morning. Welcome. And next we have Jessica Bogdanovich, and I do hope I pronounced her last name correctly.
You got it perfect. Good morning, Jessica Bogdanovich. I am the program chair of all of our credentialing programs and our MAT program at UMass Global, formerly Brandman, which was part of Chapman. So lots of name changes, lots of changes. I have been in higher ed for 19 years and in K-12, 24 years, where I started in Compton Unified for 15 years. So very happy to be on both sides of the aisle and very happy to be part of this group of people and looking forward to learning from all of you.
Thank you so much and welcome, Jessica. And we also have this morning Connie Campbell. Welcome, Connie.
Good morning, Connie Campbell. I'm with the Santa Clara County Office of Education in the Educator Preparation Programs Division. Looking at many familiar, friendly faces. I'm really happy to be here. I'm excited, again, also to learn from you and continue to participate in this process. On this side, been on the other side many, many times, and excited to be here. Thank you.
Glad to have you here. As we always say in education, it's not 6 degrees of separation, it's 1 degree of separation. So many people may have worked with each other in different capacities at different times. So welcome to the 3 of you. And also for the record, we have Member Sykes joining us as well. Has anyone else from the COA joined us? We want to make sure we acknowledge everybody this morning. All right, we are good to go. So welcome to all of our newest members as well as all of our continuing members. We're going to begin with the first item on our agenda. It's item number 2, which is the approval of today's agenda. Do we have a motion to approve today's agenda for the August 2025 meeting? Please remember to unmute your microphone when speaking. And we have Member Liggett.
I move to approve the minutes from our previous meeting.
It'll be the agenda for today's meeting.
Oh, agenda for today's meeting.
Excellent. Perfect motion. And do we have a second on Member Leggett's motion? And we have Member Jones.
Second.
So with that, we have a first and a second. And now, like I mentioned before, we'll do a roll call vote. So this will be an opportunity for everyone to unmute. So when Michelle Bernardo gets to you, you are ready for your vote. So this is for the approval of today's agenda. So let's go ahead and move on the roll call vote.
Allison Leggett,
Yes, aye.
Ann Jones,
Yes.
Patrick McKee,
Aye.
Ellen Hallis,
Aye.
Mike Hillis,
Aye.
Micah Bryant,
Aye.
Leanna Sykes,
Aye.
Connie Campbell,
Hi.
Jessica Bogdanovich,
Yes.
Michelle Hall.
Aye.
And it looks like we have approval for today's agenda, so thank you so much. We're now going to move to item number 3. Item number 3 is the approval of the minutes from the prior meeting. So just as a reminder, it would be appropriate for any committee member not in attendance at the prior meeting to abstain, and just acknowledging we have some new members here today. So with the votes, you can choose aye, no, or abstain. So with that, do we have a motion to approve the minutes from our June 2025 meeting? And I saw a member Leggett already unmute. So did you have a motion?
I just realized I have to abstain.
Okay, no worries. Thank you. And do we have member Hallis?
I move to approve the minutes from the prior June 2025 COA meeting.
Excellent. Thank you, member Hallis. Do we have a second? I see member Hillis for a second. And this is now an opportunity for any member of the public to wish to comment on the item.
Public comment.
Who seconded it? Sorry.
Member Hillis?
Thank you. I missed it.
Oh, no worries. So we have a motion, we have a second, and do we have any members of the Committee on Accreditation who would like to make any changes to the minutes or any revisions? So seeing none, we will now do the roll call vote. And as a reminder, all in favor would say aye, any opposed would say no. And then you can also abstain if you weren't present at the meeting. So we'll move forward with the roll call vote.
Okay, Allison Leggett,
Abstain?
Aaron Jones,
Aye.
Rick McKee,
Aye.
Glenn Hallis,
Aye.
Mike Hillis,
Aye.
Malika Bryant,
Aye.
Liana Sykes,
Abstain.
Connie Campbell,
Abstain.
Becca Boganovich,
Abstain.
Michelle Hall.
Abstain.
So looks like it was approved with those who at least were present. Excellent. We'll move over to item number 4 then. Item number 4 is the co-chair and members report. This is an opportunity if any members of our Committee on Accreditation would like to make any reports or share anything with the group today. And if so, please feel free to use the raise your hand feature or unmute. While you're considering your reports, I just wanted to share out there, you're going to see in PSD News today that we are close to rolling out the induction conference for this school year. January 11th through 13th are the dates. There'll be some information today on PSD News. The registration, a lot of people are asking about, there's some contracts and things behind the scenes that are getting finalized this week. So goal is to have registration open next week with the possibility of the week after. So within the 2-week window, so which is exciting, and a lot of work being done behind the scenes on that. So it's one thing I wanted to share today. Any other members like to share anything with the group as a whole? Seeing none, we're going to move to item number 5. This is staff reports, and Administrator Cheryl Hickey, would you please introduce this item?
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Exciting about the induction conference. So we're looking forward to being partners with you on that. I'm going to toss this to Miranda. She has some exciting announcements to make.
Yes, thank you. So we added 2 accreditation consultants to the professional services division team. And so if we could bring them in as panelists, that would be great. So we can introduce them to you. 1 second to queue it up.
One moment.
Thank you.
We are really excited that we got to hire 2 new people.
Yes.
And we'll have also, we have another couple of openings also. So in the PSDE news, you'll see that announcement. So if you know anybody who has experience in educator prep, that would be great. Pass it along.
Yes, please.
Exciting to hear that the staff is growing is going to make a lighter workload for those consultants here.
Mostly it's replacing staff
Oh,
that have left,
true.
unfortunately. But I guess I could say at this point in time too, we have we did in the last budget get a couple of positions for administrative services. So we will be looking for that in the near future.
Oh, excellent.
Mhm.
Great. So we have both of them on camera. So I'd like to introduce Elizabeth de los Santos and Kiyomi Meeker. Go ahead and tell you a little bit about each of them. So Elizabeth was previously with the University of Nevada, Reno. She was a faculty member in secondary education. She was engaged in research, teaching, and service. Her research focused on science teacher education and professional learning. In her teaching role, she advised graduate students regarding program requirements and state policies related to educator licensing. Her service included working with local and state education agencies, and she has 11 years of experience, secondary science classroom experience teaching in Maryland and California. She will be working with our multiple subject, single subject programs and the initial institutional approval team. So welcome to the team, Elizabeth. And we also have Kiyomi Meeker. Kiyomi comes to us from the Department of Education here in California, where she worked in the School Fiscal Services Division. She has experience developing funding proposals, reviewing proposed legislation, and providing technical assistance to the Department of Finance, legislative committees, the legislative analyst, and LEAs regarding state funding and local control funding formula issues. She also served as project director for the Public Grant Program at CDE. There, she had oversight of the grant program and organized sub-grant competitions for planning, implementation, and dissemination of grants. She has experience as a teacher, field supervisor, and administrator. And Kiyomi will work with our administrative services programs as well as the initial program approval team. So welcome to Kiyomi and Elizabeth.
Thank you for joining us. Did you want to say something, Elizabeth? Just say hello and same with you, Kiyomi.
Yeah, good morning, committee members. I'm really happy to be back in California. I got my master's in science education from CSU Long Beach, which is my hometown. So I'm really happy to be up in Sacramento and exploring this area up here. And yeah, just happy to be on this side of the work of supporting teacher education programs and ensuring that we have high quality teachers for all of our students.
Kiyomi?
Yes, good morning, commissioners. Happy to be here as well. Excited to be back in the teacher education space after spending some time in fiscal policy. So I hope to bring some of that knowledge here, but really excited to work with everyone here at the commission and have had a wonderful first week. So thank you.
That's fantastic. We're super excited to work with both of them. They come really well qualified, and so they're going to be fantastic. So we're already getting them started on the accreditation system and getting them on site visits and that kind of thing. So we're excited about that. I did want to just thank Patrick for coming up this morning. This is always the shortest meeting of the year. It's August, and we hold the August meeting just as a reminder to everybody. We hold the August meeting because there's always one or two or maybe more programs that need to get up and running, and so we don't want to delay them all the way till October or the first of the year. So I really appreciate your time this morning, even if it is a short meeting. And thank you, Patrick, for coming all the way up to Sacramento.
Glad to be of support.
So I also want to thank the new COA members for joining. I've worked with all of them in some capacity, and I'm excited to be working with you in this new capacity. You guys are all going to be fantastic. So I'm going to flip it over to Kara, who's got some unexpected and exciting news about grants, I guess you could say.
Exactly. Stole my thunder. Thanks so much, Cheryl. Hello, everybody. Welcome new COA members. I know most of you. And of course, to Kiyomi and Elizabeth. It's been fun getting to know you this week. So yes, we have the amazing benefit of having more grant money here at the commission this fiscal year, and to then be able to support the field with recruiting and retaining teachers, which is absolutely awesome. I'll talk about the three new items or the continuing items. So one new piece of our grants world is that we currently have a reading and literacy supplementary authorization incentive grant program that is now going to be morphed into the mathematics and reading and literacy supplemental, blah, blah, blah. So the idea is that individuals will be able to get an added authorization in mathematics. Another key component of this particular grant is that previously the per participant amount was $2,500. That's going up to $6,000 per participant, which is much better. And for any LEA who's going, oh my gosh, but we can't match $6,000, that's fine because you only need to match 1/3 of the grant funding received. So we're kind of excited about this one. We're still asking a couple questions of the Department of Finance and legislation around, is this retroactive? What about what? So we will keep you posted, keep the field posted as soon as we get all the information together. But the team has already written the RFA. We're just waiting for some last minute questions to be answered. So that should be coming out. Well, their date was next Friday. I don't think we're going to make that date, but because their folks in the legislation is on a break right now, but soon in August, we'll get that new RFA out for the mathematics and reading and literacy supplemental authorization incentive grant. That's a mouthful. All right, teacher residency friends, you are waiting for this. If we have a drum roll, please. Yes, there is additional money this fiscal year for teacher residency. I see you, Dr. Hillis. In addition to the 70 million that is outlined in AB 121, there is also a 66 million that we were just kind of waiting for. It's a long story. So total 136 million for teacher residency and school counselor residency. So approximately 30 million will go to school counselor residency because those implementation grants are on the rise. We've gotten a lot of uptick in that. And then the rest will be for teacher residency. And here's the thing, friends, you're going to hear it here first. The last RFA round, the applications were competitive. So we predict it will be competitive again. So read the RFAs closely. We have some parameters around, priorities of funding, and do your best to get out there. There's also another little thing coming in teacher residency, but you just have to be on the lookout for that. I'm not prepared to exactly lay that out today. But then the big news is the student teacher stipend program. So the intent of this program is to provide stipends of $10,000, provided the funding goes to the LEA to pay their student teachers each fiscal year. And the concept is that there's 100 million each year to be able to disseminate to LEAs to pay student teachers. This is remarkable. I remember the day I told my student teacher class, I don't get paid to be here. I have to pay to be here. And yeah, they looked at me like I was stupid, which, whatever. I wanted to be a teacher. So here we go. We're finally giving a little bit, at least, to our student teachers. And this is really exciting because of the 300 million over the years, 5 million is carved out for a partnership between Kern County Superintendent of Schools and the commission to do 3 things. One, to have a multimedia campaign all around recruiting teachers, come be a teacher, all that wonderful stuff about all the good things that teaching can provide both our communities and each other. 2, to create a grants management system that primarily to start will be used, there goes my light, will be used for LEAs to be able to apply for the money for the student teacher stipend program. But also we're hoping friends who don't like our data sheets to be able to input our data, the data that you all send to us also. So we're so excited about that. And then 3, to do an outside evaluation. So there's more to be revealed in this particular grant program. We're just doing the talking and getting to know Kern. They're getting to know us. And we're hoping for an amazing program to roll out beginning 26-27. So the money doesn't hit the road, friends, until 26-27. This whole year is for all of us to get together and be able to plan the plan. So we're kind of excited and unexpected, as Cheryl said.
Yeah, it's kind of a remarkable statement on the commitment of the state of California to teaching and recruiting teaching in a really tough budget year. So yeah, I think that's why I say it was unexpected, is we thought, things were going to get cut and things were, but there's definitely a commitment to continuing to get our teachers that we need. So I just want to mention that we are continuing to finish up SB 488. That has been a bear of a project that many of us have been working really hard on, as well as many, many people from the field, both reviewers and institutions. And we are continuing that. We'll be bringing additional programs forward to the commission in August, and hopefully any remaining ones in October, and hopefully by then be done with the project. But it has been a really, I think, a really important project. In the end, because we do know programs that have made adjustments and changed their curriculum as a result of really digging in. So just again, thank you to every single reviewer out there that has put time into this, and to the institutions that are working really, really hard. We know this is a huge lift. And also to our own staff. And I'm going to credit Miranda Gutierrez for doing a lot of work in this area and coordinating, many, many office hours and many, many review sessions. So more on that a little bit later as we get to one of the agenda items. We are now starting to rev up with site visits again. Remember, we were deferred last year because of SB 488, even though we ended up having 17 site visits last year. So technically it was a deferral, but we did continue to do provisional site visits last year. We did revisits last year, and we did any institutions that wanted to continue, that were in the green cohort and wanted to continue to have their site visits. That was a directive of the commission. So we ended up having 17. So it was sort of like half of what we would normally do. So this year we have somewhere in the 30s. So we are revving up strong, and we have our first visits, I think, in October. So our staff is doing 2-month out meetings and really meeting with institutions. So you will have a lot on your plate for the next year. So as we get those reports to you. The only other thing I want to mention is that on the next commission meeting, there will be an agenda item that is it's an implementation plan for the RDI TPA work. That's the look at the TPA and how to make it more usable and beneficial for candidates, less onerous, those kinds of things. There are things in that report that impact accreditation. Such as looking at the institutions with the lowest pass rates and what do we do about that. There's also some recommendations related to changing the standard. So I think it's standard 5 related to the support that candidates get. So there'll be a lot of changes that we would like to bring to you to kind of make sure that we have COA's thoughts and voices. What's going before the commission at the August meeting is the implementation plan for those. So you might be interested, you might want to look at the meeting agenda, and when that comes out, really take a hard look at those plans, and in particular the ones that have to do with accreditation. So more on that, and I think that's it for my report today. So thank you. Oh yes, I'm sorry.
October meeting.
Oh, the October meeting will be a 1-day meeting, October 30th. My hope is that it is in person. So that's what we're planning for. We don't need 2 days for that meeting, but we do need 1 day. So you can take the 31st off of your calendar. You can have Halloween.
Thank you.
And we will meet on the 30th. And I will let you all know within the next 2 weeks whether it's going to be in person or not. I think we're working on the agenda. So thank you, Michelle.
And I think Member Hillis had your hand up. Did you had a question or a comment?
Well, I'd hate to not ask Kara a question. So I'm just curious with with that stipend, by going through the LEA, would they basically, and I know it's still being worked out, but is the idea is they would designate a certain amount of scholarships or stipends that they would anticipate using and then apply for it like in a block number? I'm just trying to figure out like how to work with our LEA partners.
So part of the authorizing legislation is that the LEAs have to provide upfront information, demographic information, and so on. So initial thinking is that LEAs will apply based on who is there, right? So it's not like with teacher residency, you know, LEAs project 20 residents a year. We give them money for 20. They might serve all 20. They might serve 5. It's really, at first blush, feels like it's going to be a person per person application. And it's not a RFA where you have to tell us your need. We know there's need. It's going to be, simply, it'll be hopefully more seamless and just literally like putting names in some sort of grant system. That's initial thinking. Don't quote me on that. That's where we also get the 100 million a year, right? It's not, we have 300 right now, but that should last us, for 3 years to start.
And would it be anticipated that that could be stackable on other awards?
Oh, yes, except not teacher residency.
Okay.
Yeah, but Golden State and, but in authorizing legislation, I do believe it calls out not teacher residents.
Okay, thanks.
I'm sorry, do you mind if I ask a quick follow-up question? Would the student be when they receive the funding, would they be an employee of that school district, or would this be something directly from the state?
They would not be an employee of the school district. So that we'll have to figure out what that looks like at a school district. Maybe I don't know what that will, you're gonna have to work with school districts on what that could look like. But it is not expected they're an employee unless the school district has to have some sort of employee agreement with them, so yeah, we'll be reaching out to our LEAs to kind of talk about that with them. It's a stipend, $10,000.
Sounds like working through still some logistical pieces.
And this was a surprise.
Commissioner Davis had some thoughts. Commissioner Davis, feel free to unmute.
Well, good morning, Kara. I actually had Kara a question, and here's the question. So often in LEAs, student teachers actually become employed to become substitute teachers because they fill lots of different roles there. So I'm wondering if a teacher or a student teacher is being paid as a substitute teacher and is filling that role part of the time, do they qualify for this? Because if they're already an employee,
right?
So that might be one of the considerations or discussion topics. And I don't know who that question would go to, but just a consideration, as the commission is thinking about how these dollars are to be allocated.
Indeed, and there's nothing authorizing legislation that prohibits that. So if you didn't hear this from me, but if it doesn't prohibit it,
yeah. Okay.
Let's be creative. Let's be innovative.
Thank you.
Welcome. And it sounds like this is where we really need to focus on districts, LEAs having strong partnerships with the universities, because the student teacher's coming from the university, but the district is getting the funding. So that partnership is going to be imperative, because working hand in hand with one another, that's the individual in the end. And I appreciate what you said earlier, Kara, because all of us remember when we were struggling to become teachers, and this is what a great opportunity to help, even if they're still subbing, but also getting this money is still not enough, right? When you're trying to get through those times. So Member Sykes, please unmute.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. First of all, this is great news. So thank you for sharing this out. It feels a little bit like the Oprah Winfrey show, right? Like you get a grant. And as we expand our pathways, to bring people into the profession, I think that these supports are needed now more than ever. A question I have is will there be future consideration in regards to university and district intern programs for expanded grants or funding for folks going through those pathways? With the change in the requirements for the Golden State Teacher Grant, we know that had a particular impact on teacher intern programs, and that intern teachers do not qualify for those grants, which leave very little other funding options available. So I'm just putting it out there that I'm curious to know if there will be some consideration for how to better support folks going through the intern pathway.
To my knowledge, Juliana. However, I do know that that message is being shared loud and clear with our legislators, our Department of Finance. So we can continue to hope. I know hope is not a strategy, but some days you have to have hope just to show up to work. So we will continue to have that message, but at this juncture, I don't know of anything. But we'll certainly keep listening and keep advocating.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else for staff reports?
That's it for today.
Well, welcome to our newest consultants, and I just want to put out a thank you to a member of your staff. Behind the scenes, Gloria Byrne works so much with all of us. I'm here today because of Gloria, and I just want you to know sincere appreciation. Her name's never come up in our meetings before of gratitude, but she's out there helping all of us be present today. So thank you. She is amazing.
Fantastic.
She is. So with that, seeing no other raised hands, we're going to move on to item number 6 is program approval recommendations. And this section is for action. Please make sure you're referring to the agenda insert on this item. Today, there are 2 institutions with 2 programs for approval. We're going to begin with the Kern County Superintendent of Schools for a designated subjects career technical education. Joining us today to answer any questions about the proposed program for Kern County Superintendent of Schools are Janet Barajas, Program Coordinator for Educator Development, and Celia York, Program Coordinator for Educator Development. Do we have any recusals on this item?
Yes, I will be recusing myself.
So 1 recusal. Any other recusals? 1 from Malika Bryant. I'm just looking to see if we have both people in the same room. So it looks like we have Janet and Celia together. Anyone else from your team that you're expecting?
No, this is it.
Okay, so would any of the institutional representatives like to say anything about this proposed program?
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Kern County Superintendent of Schools, I'd sincerely like to thank each of you and the reviewers for taking time out of their busy schedules to review our program and our submission. Their expertise and the input that they provided us was very much appreciated. And also a special thank you to Miranda and Rosemary for their support and guidance throughout the entire process. It was extremely helpful. And just a little note as to how this work began. It really began as a response to a clear and urgent need that was identified in collaboration with our district partners. We discovered that we needed a strong local CTE mentoring program. And we discussed how when districts lose CTE teachers, students risk losing the entire pathway and potential career opportunities in those industry sectors. And so as we were going through this process, our goal was really to design a program that not only supports, but also retains our CTE educators so that way we could ensure that students continue to have access to high quality CTE pathways. So this has been an experience that has been incredibly meaningful for our team, and we found it tremendously valuable in the review process, and it really has challenged us to deep thinkly about our work and how we can create a robust mentoring program for our local CTE teachers. So we're excited about our program and the impact that this program will have on our community and especially on our students. So thank you.
Thank you, Celia. And Janet, anything you wanted to add on?
Yes, good morning. I just also want to thank Dr. Wren and Rosemary Miranda for your guidance throughout this process. And thank you to the review team who took the time to review our program and who gave us the feedback to help us build a strong program. That's really valuable to us. Our program was developed with district partners, like Celia mentioned, and we really valued their input and took the input that they gave us so that we can build a program that provides the learning opportunities and support that all CTE teachers transitioning from industry to the classroom need. So our goal is that teachers are well prepared and supported as they begin their career as CTE teachers. And we really believe that with right training and coaching, these teachers can be successful and they can stay in the profession for a long time. And ultimately, what we want is that students are positively impacted through the teachers that demonstrate their industry and experience and their skills that are necessary to prepare the students for their future. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Now we want to check in to see if we have any member of the public who would like to comment on this item.
No public comments.
Thank you. Does any members of the Committee on Accreditation have any questions for the representatives from the Kern County Superintendent of Schools? A reminder, please use the raise your hand feature. We'll make sure we get to everyone's questions. Seeing none, this is an action item. Do we have a motion to approve the designated subjects career technical education for Kern County Superintendent of Schools? And I see a hand up from Member Sykes.
I move to approve the career tech ed proposal from Kern County Superintendent of Schools.
Thank you, Member Sykes. And do we have a second? I see Member Jones. We'll now do a roll call vote. Those in favor, please say aye when called. Opposed, say no. Staff, if you could please call the names.
Allison Leggett,
Aye.
Ben Jones,
Aye.
Patrick McKee,
Aye.
Ellen Hallis,
Aye.
Nick Hillis,
Aye.
Juliana Sykes,
Aye.
Connie Campbell. Connie?
Connie, can you hear?
Oh, we can't hear. Did we lose her?
I think I see you unmuted, but I don't think we can hear you, Connie.
Connie,
Welcome
Jessica.
back.
Want to give us a thumbs up?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay.
Oh,
I
we
think we heard
hear
you.
you.
Oh, funny.
Oh, good.
There you go.
Okay, we can hear you.
Technology's guarantee again. So thank you, Connie.
Use the magic thumb.
So we got an aye from Connie.
Okay, Jessica Bogdanovich,
Aye.
Michelle Hall.
Aye.
So motion carries. Congratulations, Ms. Brajas, Ms. York. We wish you the absolute best in moving this important program forward.
Thank you so
Thank
much. We
you so
appreciate it.
much.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. You as well. Next, we have the Sonoma State University, which is requesting to add an intern pathway to its multiple subject program. Joining us today to answer any questions about the proposed program for Sonoma State University are Dr. Paula Lane, Associate Dean and Professor for the School of Teacher Education and Leadership, and Dr. Rihanna Casesa, Literacy Studies and Elementary Education. Do we have any recusals on this item? Seeing none, would the institutional representatives, first of all, I'll make sure that they are here. Do we have?
Bringing them in right
We're
now.
bringing them in. So I'm going to pause for a moment. I see Dr. Lane and Dr. Casesa. Excellent, you're both here. So would our institutional representatives like to say anything about your proposed intern pathway?
Sure. I'd first like to again thank the commission and particularly Tim Weeks, who has spent a really long and intense time working with us on this proposal to help us think through what this could look like we didn't have a ton of time to work on it this summer. So he was really supportive with phone calls and Zoom meetings and pretty much everything we needed to get this ready so that it could get on your desks last week. So I just really want to shout out how great he has been. So we are proposing a multiple subject intern program based off of our expanded reach towards our more rural communities. So we have expanded up into Mendocino County, where we have a really strong relationship with Mendocino Community College, where we're actually doing some courses at their site, and we're able to bus. We have funding to bus some candidates to Ukiah at Mendocino Community College to take classes in person, which we have learned is a really strong component of teacher education. And what many of our rural candidates actually really like is like the in-person, face-to-face, live component of teaching versus learning all your methods courses two-dimensionally through Zoom. So we worked really closely with Round Valley Unified, that's our proposed district, to at least get this program started, to think about how we could create a really robust program for that particular community, and then expand it out to other more rural districts as needed. And the candidates are taking all the same courses as our other credential candidates. We have the same model of supervision, so we'll have a supervisor up there every week in the classroom from supporting the interns up there. And they are going to be involved in the courses that our other credential candidates take who are non-interns, both remotely online as well as being bused from Covelo to Mendocino Community College to take some of the coursework in person, which I said is really one of the highlights of our program. I know you've looked at the documents. I could talk a lot about it because I'm really excited about this, and I know that the district is too, but I will let you all ask any questions that you might have. If you have any.
And Dr. Lane, anything you would like to share?
Just to say that, our Sonoma State has had very successful intern programs for the single subjects as well as special ed. We ended this program 5 years ago in multiple subjects. We didn't have enough need, and we have a need now. In these rural districts, the PIP and STIP options run out, and we are the program that we would like them to be able to enroll in. We want to be the teacher credential program that helps them get their license, and it's part of a grow your own model that we're very proud of. So we put this together so that we could meet the needs in rural areas. We know there will be other students in our local service area, but that has never been a real problem for us or a need. So in multiple subjects. So we know how to do intern programs. We have coordinators. We have the cred people. We know the systems, but we want to add it to an area. We want to make it available in a way that we have needed to do for a while. And so that's our purpose today. And thank you, everyone, for these late August meetings. We really.
Muted yourself. Dr. Lane, I think you may have muted. We may not have gotten your last piece there.
It's okay. It's okay.
No worries. Well, I'll make sure we honor everyone's voice. So I appreciate you both sharing. And now this is an opportunity to check in to see if we have any member of the public wish to comment on this item.
No public comments.
No public comments. So now it's opportunities for the members of the Committee on Accreditation. I'm going to call on Member Campbell first. I know your hand was up earlier and came back up. And then we have Member Sykes and Member Bryant. So Member Campbell.
Thank you. In reading your documents, I understood that, I think I understand that your interns would be 50% intern and 50% resident. And I wondered if that prevents you from having a 100% internship in this particular plan.
No, and it also does not prevent us from having 100% residents.
Thank you.
Member Sykes.
First of all, I just want to commend you all for the development of this program. We have in the past served intern teachers from Mendo County and Trinity County, and we know how impacted those areas are in terms of access to a viable credential program. So I just want to say huge thanks for creating this because it's going to make a huge difference in those communities. A question I have on looking over your documents and just wondering is given the rural communities is how might the model of field supervision look, and there'll be a combination of in-person or hybrid, and how does that contrast or complement the focus on in-person classes for these teachers in rural districts?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So supervision is going to be 100% in person with someone from the local community. We actually already have someone in mind ready to go. So we really believe and are committed to in-person supervision. There's a lot more you can see when you're in a classroom than you are on a screen when you're observing candidates and giving them feedback. And we've also noticed just in the relationship that we've developed with the Covelo community in Round Valley that you can get so much more when you're like sitting across from somebody in 3 dimensions than you can elsewhere. So our supervision is going to be 100% in person. Like I said, the supervisor will be there 1 full day a week. All day long. So doing observations, doing coaching, working with the mentors to make sure the mentors are supported to support the interns. And then the coursework model will be 1 course per semester is going to be in person at the Mendocino Community College. We have scheduled those courses actually so that they are aligned with, we have a degree completion program, a liberal studies program at Mendocino Community College also. And we do have folks from Covelo who want to finish their program there. So we are designing the classes so that we can actually take a bus of people who are finishing their bachelor's degree and who want to complete their credential on the same bus at the same time from Covelo over the mountain to Mendocino Community College. And then instead of having like a 3-hour class, it's longer classes. So they're longer classes, so they're not going every week. It's more like every other or every 2 weeks. We have also talked with the district about the childcare issue because that was one of the concerns, is that some people have smaller children. And so the district is working out a plan to support families who need childcare on Saturdays to make sure that that anyone coming on this bus is appropriately supported in that sort of way. So we're really I don't know if my voice is giving me away. We're really excited to be making this work. And they are too, because it does seem to be kind of, it's a really dynamic way to support the needs of a rural community in ways that are helpful both to the LEA and then also the IHE. So, oh, and then one more thing, we actually have a grant and we are part of the K-16 collaborative. And so Mendocino Community College actually now has a classroom in Covelo. So our longer term plan, if we need to, is to eat well. Ideally, this is a very robust program and we can actually do classes at the Mendocino satellite classroom in Covelo. Numbers might not support that, but so we're investigating ways that we can also support kind of a high flex model. So candidates who don't have interns who don't have access to strong enough internet can be at the Mendocino classroom in Covelo to be able to access their online courses that they need to. So yes, as you can see, we've had to think very creatively about how to support the rural needs with like down to even things like Wi-Fi.
Thank you so much. And we'll get to Member Jones in a minute. Dr. Lane, did you want to add something on to what was being shared?
Yes, thank you very much. I wanted to add that one thing we've learned is that even if a course or a section is online, synchronous, the students themselves want to be together because internet access is a problem. So this Mendocino classroom, it's amazing. It's new, it's high tech. It's beautiful furniture, and it has a native person who's the coordinator, Otika, and what they will sit together to take a 4 o'clock, say, online section of something, and that happens in Ukiah as well at the elementary schools. They go into the teachers' lounge to take their class together. I want to mention that because the students and teachers, the mentors, all support this when they heard they were going to Starbucks or something. So the schools are helping them have their own community, which seems extremely important in this case. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And a moment ago, Member Bryant, you had your hand up. Was your question answered? Did you want to share?
Yes, my questions were absolutely answered, but I would just like to congratulate you and honor you for identifying a real need and then jumping in, getting creative, and addressing those barriers head on, identifying them, addressing them, and really thinking about what the needs are short term and long term. To come up with solutions that are meaningful and relevant to the community you're serving. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Member Bryant and Member Jones.
I'm just going to pile on the enthusiasm. As a person who in my other world has had a lot of these conversations about serving the rural community and how very important it is and how challenging. I think not only have you designed an excellent program, but you've actually potentially provided a model that I really hope others, including my own institution, can take advantage of. So congratulations for fantastic work in a much, much needed community.
Thank you, Member Jones. And I would agree, just echoing all these thoughts. When you think about everything, when you think about the word model, you thought about childcare, you thought about transportation, you thought about internet access, and then you also thought strategically begin with one district, see how this goes, then layer on something else. And these methodical choices are going to long-term have great benefits for those that you serve. So with all these comments and wonderings and questions is also an action item. So we want to see if we have a motion to approve the multiple subject intern pathway for Sonoma State University. And I saw a hand up from Member Jones.
I move that we approve adding an intern pathway to the multiple subject program at Sonoma State University.
And do we have a second? We have a second from Member Leggett.
Allison Leggett.
And then we have a comment from Cheryl Hickey. Yes.
Yeah, sorry to say this. I just feel like I have to say this. So what you're approving today is the intern program as we approve all intern programs. So even though they have, our lights are going out, sorry. Even though they have a model where they're talking about part residency, part intern, we're not approving that model. What we're approving is the intern program itself. And they meet all of the necessary requirements for the intern program. But I just wanted to be clear, there's nothing that prohibits the institution from doing that, doing the 50-50 or doing any sort of creative need that their candidate needs. But I just wanted to put out there that what's being approved today is the intern part of it. So just to be completely clear about what our intent is today.
Was my motion appropriate?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I think because we were saying it's a model for but this specific model isn't necessarily, they're not held into the box of that model.
Exactly.
But it's a wonderful model, but they can go outside that model in the approval of the program. So this is important, especially because we're getting approvals. We want to make sure everyone now, when we go to the roll call vote, is understanding what they are approving. So as shared before, when your name is called, if you could unmute, say aye or no. And so we'll begin with Ms. Bernardo.
Allison Leggett.
Aye.
Ann Jones.
Aye.
Patrick McKee.
Aye.
Alan Howitz.
Aye.
Mike Hillis.
Aye.
Mike O'Brien.
Aye.
Leanna Sykes.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
Jessica Bogdanovich.
Aye, thank you.
Michelle Hall.
Aye.
And motion carries and carry this enthusiasm forward. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. We're really thrilled. And we're going to go text Round Valley right now and tell them we're good to go for Monday.
And may I say that we have had tremendous support from Dean Lauda Iamillo. Gas mileage is never questioned. I can get there from Santa Rosa and up to Round Valley and back in a day. I've never thought I would do that. Dr. Quesesa and I have been given a lot of support. And this includes actually from, our interim president and provost and at Sonoma State. We've been supported to do this with people who also know this need is real. And we'd also just want to say we are trying to help them grow their own so that it isn't a Sonoma State, hi, Paula comes up there or Dr. Quesesa does. It's about helping them do teacher ed at their location like anybody would. And we're very excited about that. And thank you very much for your support as well. It's a big deal to us. We're really proud and happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Lane, and thank you, Dr. Quesesa. We wish you the absolute best as you move forward on this wonderful Friday for both of you.
Thank you so much.
Now go to item number 7. Item number 7 is the report of program status changes. The item is divided into two parts. Part 1 includes items for action by the COA, and Part 2 are items for formal notification and do not require COA action. Today, there are only items for A and E. Sections A, B, and C, Part 1, the COA includes requests to withdraw, requests to reactivate inactive programs, and or requests to add a new content area to an existing program. We only have items for Section A. For Section A are program withdrawals. Section A is for action. There are 6 program sponsors withdrawing 8 programs. And for my clarification, are we taking this as a group or an individual?
I think if you can ask for recusals, that'll kind of guide where we go.
So we'll begin. If you take a look at Section A, will anybody recuse themselves on any part of Section A? That'll guide us on whether we take this as a group or as. So Member Hillis, where are you recusing yourself?
Conejo Valley.
Okay, thank you. And if every other member could just look through Section A, any other recusals, because we'll then just take Conejo separate. Seeing none, we will begin with Conejo Valley Unified School District. The only program is closing the teacher induction program effective August 8th, 2025. So with that one, that is an action item. We have a recusal already from Member Hillis. Do we have a motion to approve the Conejo Valley Unified School District closing their teacher induction program effective August 8th? We have Member Jones.
I move that we approve the Conejo Valley Unified School District withdrawing their teacher induction program.
Do we have a second on that motion? Member Hallis? And now we will move forward to a roll call vote. So Ms. Bernardo.
Allison Leggett,
Aye.
Ann Jones,
Aye.
Patrick McKee,
Aye.
Alan Hallis,
Aye.
Micah Bryant,
Aye.
Juliana Sykes,
Aye.
Bonnie Campbell,
Aye.
Jessica Bogdanovich,
Aye.
Michelle Hall.
Aye.
So motion carries on Conejo Valley. And now we're going to read through the remainders unless anyone, I'll pause for a moment if you realize you had a recusal. Otherwise, we'll take the next as a group. Seeing none. So the, oh, and your hands up, was that just for the original motion? Okay, excellent. Good. Thank you, Cheryl, for noticing that. We have tiny screens in front of us, so I want to make sure I don't miss anyone's hands. So I'm just going to read through these now. We have Loyola Marymount University, Specialist Teaching, California Teachers of English Learners, the CTEL, effective August 11th, 2025. And these are all for Loyola Marymount, Specialist Teaching, Reading and Literacy Added Authorization, effective August 11th, 2025. And Specialist Teaching, Reading and Literacy Leadership Specialist, effective August 11th, 2025. Next is the Madera County Superintendent of Schools, Education Specialist Added Authorization, Orthopedic Impairment, effective August 8th, 2025. San Jose State University Teacher Induction, effective September 30th, 2025. Sonoma State University, the Preliminary Administrative Services with Intern, effective August 8th, 2025. The University of Southern California Teacher Induction, effective September 1st, 2025. And I did not say this earlier for Conejo Valley about public comment. Did we have any public comment on Conejo Valley or any of these items?
No public comment.
No public comment. Okay, excellent. So this item is for action. We have no recusals. And do they need to read everything or can they just say what was just proposed when they make their motion?
They could just say
So
what was proposed.
we are not going to have anyone read what I just read. So would anyone like to make a motion on just the approvals of the program withdrawals that were just shared? Member Hallis.
I move that we recommend the withdrawal of the professional preparation programs that were just shared.
Excellent, thank you. And do we have a second we have second from Member Campbell. And now we are going to do a roll call vote. Those in favor of the action say aye, opposed say no. Staff, if you could please call names.
Allison Leggett,
Aye.
Ann Jones,
Aye.
Patrick McKee,
Aye.
Alan Hallis,
Aye.
Hillis,
Aye.
Micah Bryant,
Aye.
Liana Sykes,
Aye.
Connie Campbell,
Aye.
Jessica Bogdanovich,
Aye.
Michelle Hall.
Aye.
And motion carries for all the programs. Thank you all. We're going to move to part 2, section E. Because it's a short meeting today, we are just moving forward on the agenda. If someone feels there's a break needed, please use the raise your hand feature. We can pause. Otherwise, I'm moving forward. Seeing no hands up, we're going to part 2, section E. Part 2 provides information on programs that have transitioned to revised program standards and programs that have elected to change to inactive status. These items are for notification only and require no action by the COA. Today, there are only items for E. Section E are programs moving to inactive status. There are 2 program sponsors requesting to move 2 programs to inactive status. The Newark Unified School District Teacher Induction, effective August 8th, 2025, and the San Diego County Office of Education, Education Specialist Added Authorization, Traumatic Brain Injury, effective date August 8th, 2025. That moves us to item 8. Item 8 is actions taken to address stipulations from Monterey County Office of Education.
Trick. Sorry, there was one more. There's actually 3.
Oh, yes.
Inactive. That was just added. Sonoma State University is actually requesting to inactivate their reading and literacy added authorization effective today, August 8th.
That's in the insert, right?
That's in the insert.
Sorry,
Perfect.
skip that one. Just that one, right?
Just that one.
So just for the clarification, it's not an action item, but the clarification is moving to inactive status, Sonoma State University, the reading and literacy, which is in the insert, effective today. So excellent. Thank you so much. So on item number 8, we're going to move to the actions to address stipulations from Monterey County Office of Education. Consultant Dr. Sarah Solari Colombini will present this item, and today she's going to be joined by institutional representatives, and I'll read their names, and then we'll just make sure that we have them all here. Dr. Deneen Gus, Monterey County Superintendent of Schools. Dr. Karen Lewis, Assistant Superintendent of Education Services. Dr. Marlena Malasso, Director of Leadership and School Systems. Annabelle Chanot, Administrator of Induction Programs. Alexis Bowen, Administrative Assistant of Induction Programs. So I'm going to pause, and I see Karen, Marilena. I think we're missing a few. We'll just pause for a moment, and anyone from Monterey County Office of Education can advise us if there's someone you're not expecting or someone that you are hopeful that would be here. Dr. Lewis, is there anyone else that we don't see?
Yes. Hi, good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. We do have a couple of team members who are not able to be with us today. I can start by saying happy new school year. We have school districts that are starting this week, and so we appreciate their proactive response to needs that are happening within the community. And so we're excited to be here, Dr. Malazzo and I, and we're prepared and ready whenever it's time to go.
Thank you so much. So then we'll go ahead and move forward with Dr. Colombini. And then after her, we'll have an opportunity for you to share from an institution perspective. So Dr. Solari Colombini.
Thank you. So good morning. So this report is the final report that Monterey County Office of Education will provide, addressing the remaining stipulations from the original site visit, which was in October of 2023. There were 9 stipulations that the site visit team determined still remained at the revisit in October of 2024. And really, those 9 stipulations were a result of timing because they relied on, the institution's ability to gather data or provide training to mentors and coaches during the year. So we have had a year that has passed since that revisit, and Monterey County Office of Ed has instituted processes and systems that align to the current standards that support candidates and the mentors as well. So in addition to, you have the year-end or end of the year report in front of you, Monterey County also provided me with access to confidential files that included the work of their coaches, mentors, and candidates for both the admin program and the teacher induction program that it offers. And I was able to, again, review ILPs and IIPs and the log that documents the time spent with candidates and the content covered within those meetings. In addition, within the structured system that Monterey County has built, feedback is provided to candidates and feedback's provided to the mentors and coaches about goals, progress towards mastery, and their coaching practice as well. The leadership for both programs at Monterey County continue to offer weekly office hours for the candidates and the coaches and mentors. And this helps them tailor their support for candidates and mentors and coaches within each program, based upon what they're hearing, what questions they're gathering through those office hours. As I reviewed the ILPs and the IIPs that were sent, the confidential files, it did show that candidates selected individualized goals and they're working towards those goals. It shows the interaction of the mentor, the support that the candidates receive from mentors and coaches. That was all present. Monterey County has just made significant progress with candidates. It's candidates report, I think you have in there as well, the end of the year evaluation that they had an external evaluator do. But candidates are reporting that they're addressing performance expectations, whether they're capsules or the CSTP, and the evidence that Monterey shared definitely warrants a recommendation to remove the remaining stipulations. So you have a summary. I also included in your agenda item today just a summary of the rationale for that recommendation of the removal of the remaining stipulations. And with that, I look forward to your discussion and recognize that Karen Lewis and Marlena Milazzo are with us here today. So certainly they can answer any specific questions that you have during your discussion. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Colombini. And yes, this is an opportunity now for the institutional representatives to briefly comment about the report. So Dr. Lewis and Dr. Milazzo, this is your opportunity. Anything you would like to add on or to share?
Thank you. Again, I just want to thank you actually for the opportunity to be here with you. As Dr. Colombini mentioned, we were with you, months back, and we're awaiting this end of year report data. We're very excited about the data. But before transitioning to the report, we did have a mention of some team members as we were transitioning into the space. And I just want to take just a moment to thank them. Dr. Marlena Milazzo, serving as our director and overseeing our educator preparedness programs. Annabelle Chanot serves as our educational administrator of induction programs and the lead for our teacher induction programs here at MCOE. Belen Munoz has served as our P3 coordinator and new teacher support, and it's been really exciting to see developments in that area. And Alexis Bowen is our administrative assistant who works tirelessly behind the scenes to make it all appear seamless. And so we're just so very thankful to them. I do want to share that we value greatly the ongoing data and feedback, the beginning, middle, and end of year cycles. These data have been very positive, as Dr. Colombini shared, but they've also been extremely constructive. And we're excited. We're seeing a 35% growth in our induction programs as we're heading into the new year, and maybe even some more new growth coming. I know you all know how that happens at the beginning of the year. But this team really continues to provide extraordinary service and serve our learning communities in just such a proactive way. So we're excited to welcome the new year. It's happening right now. This week we have schools and districts starting. And so it's been a week full of joy. And we want to thank you for this opportunity to be here. And I'll turn it over to Dr. Milazzo, and she can share more about the report.
Well, thank you, Dr. Lewis. Since our last COA meeting, we've just been continuing to provide our individualized support. Our team has been really working on the iterative feedback across the systems. And as Dr. Colombini pointed out, we spent a lot of last spring working on all of the feedback within the ILPs, their growth over time with the CSTPs and capsules, working with our mentors and our coaches. And this year we're moving harder to make more robust systems for our mentors and our coaches who have been in the systems. We've really added on some additional offerings for our coaches and our mentor trainings. And a lot of that came from that feedback and data that Dr. Lewis was talking about. We collected all of that end of the year data, wrapped up the 24-25 with our celebratory colloquiums, which was just a joyful celebration of that 2-year growth of inquiry and reflection. And highlighted the achievements of our participants across those multiple programs. So this summer we dove deep into our data and made those thoughtful revisions and enhancements to ensure our programs are stronger moving forward. And we're really excited to have that opportunity to continue to do that. And now as the school year begins, we're actively supporting our districts and schools. So as Dr. Lewis mentioned, we got lots of boots on the ground. It's an exciting time. We're having some rich conversations with our districts, our IHE partners, our community partners, as we continue to offer that personalized support. This month, we're sharing our current data with our EPAC committee. We're launching our orientation sessions. And next weekend, we have Teacher Extravaganza, which is super exciting. It's a celebration of all of our educators, connects them for networking, free community resources, and tools they need to start the year. It was targeted for our induction candidates, and we really focused in on our new teachers, our residents, our interns. And this year, we're making it even larger and encompassing it for all educators across Monterey County. So we have everything from the mobiles, where they bring field trips to school sites that have harder times getting school buses for those field trips, the library system, everything that they could use around our area to be able to bring things into their campuses. And everybody's bringing free things. There's free STEM kits, there's Amazon gift cards, all kinds of great things for teachers. So it's a joyous and busy time for all of us. We're really excited to get started with the new year. We're excited to be with you today and to share the data and to talk about our progress. And so thank you so much for having us here today.
Thank you, Dr. Milazzo and Dr. Lewis. This is an opportunity for any member of the public who would wish to comment on this item. Do we have any members of the public?
No problem.
No members from the public. Now it's opportunities for members of the COA who have any questions or comments. I'd actually like to begin to really celebrate your success. I think I first met you when you all were presenting at our old CTC office a couple of years ago. We're now here at the new, and some of my other members here today were with you throughout the journey. And I think back then, Dr. Milazzo, if I remember correctly, it was like your first week, first month in this role, and just learning. And every suggestion, guidance, wondering, question, your organization continued to rise, and you saw every challenge as an opportunity. As we go through the report today, it just meets what our requests of make everything really straightforward, easy to click onto links, easy to see. I commend you the added step of going to an outside provider to gain the data, and so much data that celebrate. There's so much positivity in there of what you're hearing from your candidates, your coaches, your mentors. So I just wanted to be the first to just congratulate you and honor you for your hard work. And with all the celebrating going on this week in your organization, may the celebration continue, may the learning continue. And as you move forward, to continue to do what's best for students, which I see is what's happening. So with that, I want to pass over to Member Bryant and then Member Hallis.
Well, I'd like to mirror what Member McKee said, or Co-Chair McKee said, but also, this journey, it's been a complicated one, hasn't it? It's been difficult and challenging and exciting and engaging, all of those things. We can see that. And I'd like to commend you for digging in and really looking at things clearly and remediating them and thinking hard about how you can make the changes that are going to have the greatest impact, which to me is what this is all about, considering how we are constructing systems that are impacting ultimately the students we all serve. And so I really appreciate your linkage with that. And I believe the last time you came before, I kind of said something similar, which is I encourage you moving forward to continue to be thinking and constructing your systems so that they are engaged in this work continuously, not just during an accreditation cycle, that this is embedded in who you are and how you do this. And it just is your identity. And I can see that in the two of you. And I'm hopeful that that is part of who your team is now. So thank you for your willingness to really go through a tremendous growth process and do the hard work that it comes to the other side. And this is an entirely different system you've created than what was seen a few years ago. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Member Bryant and Member Hallis.
Yeah, I'm just going to get in line with the other committee members and just again extend congratulations to the hard work. October 2023 does not seem that long ago, but it seems like a lifetime ago. Those major stipulations have led to just major growth and improvements in the program, and just a big pats on the back all the way around for how far the program has come.
Thank you, Member Hallis. Any other discussion from
Commissioner Davis.
Oh, Commissioner Davis. Thank you. My apologies, Commissioner Davis, please.
It literally is the red background and the brown hand that blend together. Can't see the raised hand. I wanted to say one of my first COA meetings that I attended was a meeting where this was legitimately I believe the first or second agenda item. And I want to say to Miss Lewis and Miss Malazzo, first of all, I want to say this is just so wonderful to see this development. You all started with almost nothing and you built something, and it just seems so wonderful. I've been following you on LinkedIn, on social media, because I'm a big geek for accreditation, and I have seen through your Dr. Gus when she oh, and shout out to her and her committee as well, and your whole team, and this progress that you all make. Every time I see a big new class of folks or a group of people working and PDs at the county office, excuse me, it helps me to see that this process is a legit process that is giving me hope for my community, because I live at the end of South Santa Clara County, bordering Monterey County, where my parents live, and I get to go back and forth, and I get to see the happy, smiling children, knowing that those teachers are prepared locally, those educational professionals are educated there locally and prepared for your schools. It just gives me so much hope. And I appreciate your presentation and the work that you all have put in to come this far. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed for a good vote for you today, and congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis. Any other questions or discussions from our committee members? This is an action item. So do we had a recommendation from the CTC, but do we have a motion? And I see Member Hillis.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we change the accreditation status of Monterey County Office of Education from accreditation with major stipulations to accreditation.
Thank you, Member Hillis. And looks like we have a second from Member Jones. So with that, we are going to now do a roll call vote. Staff, if you could please call names.
Allison Leggett,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Patrick McKee,
Aye.
Ellen Hallis,
Aye.
Hillis,
Aye.
Micah Bryant,
Aye.
Leona Sykes,
Aye.
Connie Campbell,
Aye.
Jessica Bogonovich,
Aye.
Michelle Hall.
Aye.
Congratulations, Monterey County. This motion carries unanimously for full accreditation. Definitely a round of applause to all of you. A lot more to celebrate now. Congratulations, and thank you again for your hard work, dedication, and perseverance.
Can I confirm just one thing? I want to make sure. So yes, they've received accreditation. We've also removed all stipulations. Is that just by default? Okay.
Yes, so, and great thing to clarify before we go into a weekend, there are no stipulations, full accreditation. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Lewis. Thank you, Dr. Malasso. We wish you the absolute best on your further journey ahead.
Thank you. We appreciate you all and wish you a wonderful year. Thanks so much.
Thank you. So with that, we are going to move to item number 9. Item number 9 is a discussion of the 2026 COA meeting dates, and we're going to move this to Administrator Cheryl Hickey, who will present this item. I think we'll all need to get our calendars out as we go through this item.
Exactly. So at the last meeting, we talked generally about conflicts and potential dates that might work for all of you. We took that information. Michelle Bernardo prepared this agenda item. And then we kind of took a look at it, and we just have some concerns about the sort of some of the dates at the very beginning. Well, actually one date. So if you look at page 4 of the item, and I don't know how you want to do this, we could do this however works best for the committee, but I think what we've done then is we have kind of highlighted, we bolded the dates that were the preferred dates for the committee, I think that you discussed at the last meeting. The issue we have is right around the very beginning where we talked about the January 29th through 30th. We have no issues with that at all. But having the February one come literally 4 weeks after the January one, we would not have that many, maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 at the most site visits between that period of time. So we were hoping that maybe we can move the February 26th, 27th proposed date to one of the March dates, maybe early March, mid-March. If that's doable, then I think the rest of it is as you discussed at the last meeting. So it would be January 29th, 30th, 2026, one of the March meetings towards the beginning of the month, then the April 21st, 20th, 21st. And that's a Monday, Tuesday. I think you had talked about that because there's some things happening that week. And then June 15th, 16th, and August 13th, and October 29th, 30th. So that's the proposal. So it's just the February date coming right on the heels of the January one. So if we could have a little more space between those two meetings, that would be great. So, and again, staff can accommodate you however you want to meet. And we will adjust the dates as we see how the workload rolls out. We always tend to put 2 dates on and then remove a date. It's easier to do that than add a date. So, yeah, that's where we're at.
And thank you for that. And thank you for honoring just the dates that we had discussions on last time. Got it worked out because last time, if we all remember, we threw out dates, but then the staff needed to go back and see if that would work with everything that's coming forward. They know the workload that we're going to be seeking. So with that, if we could start, I just think probably easiest, even though it was already looked at, if we start with the January date, just kind of go through one at a time. Or any discussion, and please use the raise your hand feature so I don't miss anybody. Any discussion on January? Last time we were solid with that date.
And obviously we can, if 1 or 2 members needs to be gone, you can still hold the meeting. We need to have a quorum.
Oh, okay, very good.
And a buffer above the quorum because there's always somebody who might be sick or whatever. So, but if you're missing one meeting because of something, that's perfectly fine. You all can kind of figure that out.
Good to clarify, and that's as we move forward. Like if it turns out that one of these dates doesn't work for one person, but it works for everybody else, it's nothing personal for anybody here, but it creates the established quorum that we need. And so with January, Connie, did you have a thought for January?
Yeah, I would absolutely miss that meeting in January, so I just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us know. So for February, the proposal is to move. We originally discussed February 26th and 27th. I want to propose and throw out then to support the commission staff to March 12th to 13th. We start there as a date. Any thoughts on March 12th to March 13th instead of February 26th to 27th? Maybe a thumbs up. Is it a good day? I see Malika and Michelle, Jessica. We got a lot of thumbs up. So would that work for commission staff?
Absolutely. Okay. That would give us more content to put on your agenda.
Yes, we like it when we can have everything together. So it looks like March 12th and to 13th. And this is eventually going to go to a motion. So we're just making sure everyone's clarifying the motion that'll come forward by somebody in a moment. So we had that March date. And now we're going to go to April. April was what we had previously discussed, which was that Monday, Tuesday, if I remember, something that might end up being a 1 day. I think
it
so.
could be.
It could be. We're just holding both days right now, but it could be a 1 day. And I think we moved it to the beginning of the week just because of schedules, spring breaks and different things. And then no discussion. So June, any discussion for June? think that was an important date from staff, just trying to make sure that we're all available and here because graduations and different things that happen in June. But June is important for quorum. In the past, as you saw in the agenda item, this kind of where it gets hard because of schedules. But so we moved it to a Monday, Tuesday as well. Any discussion on June 15th, 16th? We want to make sure we definitely would have quorum for availability.
June is usually a heavy calendar month because we've got all of the rest of the site visits that end up on the June calendar. So
I'm hearing is 2-day possible. It could be a 2-day. Member Jones.
Yeah, a question. So I don't have all of the major event dates for our school yet for June. Would there be a possibility of participating remotely if that was necessary and publicly noticed? Because
yes.
I could do that, and then if there was something in the late afternoon.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good question, and one I should probably explain. So during the pandemic, the legislature reconsidered Bagley-Keene. And Bagley-Keene, basically the new version of Bagley-Keene gave us two options for virtual meetings. The first is like we're doing today, which is you have one member in the building, everybody else is remote, and you have to post your locations. The second option is you have a majority of the members in the building. So we would have to have 7 in the building. And it's possible that if, let's say you have, and this is part of the thinking with the legislature, let's say you have COVID and you don't want to, but you feel fine, you just don't want to spread it to your neighbors. You can participate remotely from your home without actually putting your location on there, but we have to have a majority in the building in order for that option to be used. So yes, the answer to that is absolutely yes. So if we had an in-person and you needed to participate from afar, as long as we had a majority of people in the building, we could do that.
And that's great to hear. And so for all of us, when we have these dates, that the best intention is for all of us to be present in person. But as individual pieces come up, it sounds like a single digit 1 or 2 people. If there needs to be an alternative, it's totally okay. And we work through those pieces. So thank you, Member Jones, for asking a question. I think all of us are probably thinking about down the road. We can't necessarily predict June right now, right? So and then August 13th, which in the past has typically been like today, where it's a teleconference. We also know this is like the busiest weeks of the year for all of us, I'm sure, which is typically why it's a one meeting and why it is virtual, because most of us probably can't come out at this time of year. So, and then all the way to October of next year. And thank you for going to the following fall of October 29th and 30th. So those are all the dates. Any discussion of any other date concerns or wonderings about the schedule before we move to a motion?
I don't have a question about those dates, but I might be one that will need to do like remote post on October 30th. I understand that it is supposed to be in person, but if I could attend remotely.
Okay.
So now that I realize that other option is there.
Yeah, it's interesting because we have to make a decision before the 10 days as to which of those two options. So it's not like we can flip to the other one. So yes, absolutely. If it's in person and you can't make it, then we could do that.
I can do a remote on that. On October 30th, I can do.
Yes, exactly. Unless we decide that it's all teleconference and then it's all teleconference and we have to post the locations.
Okay.
So,
okay, thank you.
So if I heard right, there's a 10-day notice that a member needs to share with you?
10-day notice is when we have the responsibility to post our agenda.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be all the materials, but it has to be the agenda and it has to indicate how the meeting is happening, whether it's in person, whether it's virtual, which of the two options we're using. We don't have to tell you that's option 1 or B. We have to tell you, we have to give you the instructions, and we have to note the other pieces. You have to notice whether something is action or information. So whether or not those are all public requirements. But yes, so we would need to know probably about at least 20 days ahead of time so that we know what we're preparing for.
kind of a good news for all of us is that these meetings like a month in between. So as long as we kind of notify you by the meeting before, then for the next meeting, it looks like it would work out most of the time that way. So with that, we would need somebody to then have a committee member make a motion that it will be the highlighted meetings as posted on the agenda, with the exception of the February is now March. So I see Member Jones.
I move that we accept the highlighted meeting dates as outlined in the agenda item, with the exception of February 26th and 27th being removed and March 12th and 13th being adopted.
Thank you, Member Jones. You have a second? See Member Hallis? And this will now be a roll call vote. So if staff could please call the roll.
Allison Leggett,
Aye.
Ann Jones,
Aye.
Patrick McKee,
Aye.
Alan Hallis,
Aye.
Mike Hillis,
Aye.
Malika Bryant,
Aye.
Juliana Sykes,
Aye.
Connie Campbell,
Aye.
Jessica Bogdanovich,
Aye.
Michelle Hall.
Aye.
And it looks like the motion carries. So thank you for planning us a year in advance. Always helpful.
Just one more thought on the two options for Bagley Keene. That law also included a sunset date, so they're treating it like a couple year pilot, and they're going to revisit it. I believe it's in 2026. So just so you know that's what occurs right now, but it may change in the future.
Excellent. Thank you. So item number 10 is back to Administrator Cheryl Hickey. She'll present this item on the nomination and election of COA co-chairs.
And I usually have a cheat sheet with this, and I forgot to do it this time because I was so busy. So I'm going to do this from memory. So it's time to elect the new co-chairs for this upcoming year, and we waited until we had the new members because that always makes sense. And I think we need to change our procedures manual to kind of be clear about that. But so my job basically will be to open the nominations for the two co-chairs. And just a reminder, we always have one from the PK-12 community and one from the higher education community. So one of the 6 of each one of those. I'll take the nominations and then we will close the nominations and then we will actually vote. Everybody is eligible. The only thing is that in our procedures manual, there is a limit to 2 terms. And as you remember, Bob Frelly far exceeded that before. But that's an easily a fixable thing because the commission or the committee would just take 2 votes. You take 1 vote to override your procedures manual, and then you take 1 vote to vote in the person, should that person already have served 2 terms. And I believe the only person that has served 2 terms, I believe, is Ann Jones from the first time you were on the committee on accreditation years ago. So I think just to be safe, we would have to do that in that case, but if that were to be. So anybody have any questions before I open the nominations? All right, I think we'll start with the PK-12 role. And so I would like to open the nominations. And one more thing, the person has to be willing to serve. Can't volunteer them here. Okay, so I see Alan Hallis's hand up.
I move to nominate Patrick McKee as co-chair for PK-12.
Okay, Patrick McKee, would you be willing to serve again?
Yes, I will. Thank you.
All right, he's willing to serve. Any other nominations? Okay, I'm going to close the nominations for that, and let's do the roll call vote. Michelle.
Allison Leggett,
Aye.
Ann Jones,
Aye.
Patrick McKee,
Aye.
Alan Hallis,
Aye.
Mike Hillis,
Aye.
Malika Bryant,
Aye.
Juliana Sykes,
Aye.
Connie Campbell,
Aye.
Jessica Bogdanovich,
Aye.
Michelle Hall.
Aye.
That's everybody, right? All right, congratulations, Patrick.
Thank you.
We're
Thank you.
excited to have you back. Do you want to say a few things?
Well, thank you, Member Hallis, for your nomination of confidence, and thank you to all of you. It's an honor to serve. I look forward to us meeting in person to meet our newest members, but Thank you. I learned under the best with Co-Chair Frelly, so I am here in honor of him.
Great, wonderful. Well, we're excited that you're serving again. And now it's time to hear nominations for the representative or the person from the IHE community. So do we have any nominations? Hey, folks, come on.
Well, I would love to nominate Ann Jones because she already has experience doing it, and I think it'd be great to have that balance in the leadership of the committee.
And Dr. Jones, would you be willing to serve?
I am deeply honored, but my portfolio is transitioning here, and so I'm not sure that I can commit to that. But Member Hillis, I very much appreciate the vote of confidence. I loved doing it before, but I think it's somebody else's turn.
All right. All right, so
Does the nomination have to come from?
it can come from anybody.
From anybody.
Any,
So anyone here, even if you are in the.
yes. Yep, anyone. Any member can nominate it, any other member, as long as they're from the IHE community that's receiving the nomination.
As a co-chair, am I able to nominate?
Yes.
And I don't know if you'll accept, but I would like to actually nominate Member Hillis with his experience and background on the COA. And all that you have offered to our organization so far. I know you just nominated Member Jones, but Member Hillis that I would nominate.
It's a love fest.
Dr. Hillis, would you be willing to serve?
Well, so here's my issue. I almost always say yes to things like this, but I actually a little bit like Anne. I just added the seminary to my deanship that is starting right now. And we have our accreditation visit in October. And I think it would not be wise for me to add on something else at this point. I really regret saying that because I'd love to do it if it was a different time. So.
Understood. Right.
I just have to say, Cheryl, I'm flashing back to the day when everybody was like in the side rooms trying to gather one-off votes, and it seems like we're in the opposite situation now.
Well.
And our other members are brand new for.
Other members are brand new. Yep, but they could learn. It's entirely up to, I mean, they've all been involved in the accreditation system in some way or another.
Okay.
So.
Well, I'd like to nominate Allison Leggett as co-chair. If you're interested.
Allison, would you be willing to serve?
Thank you so much. That would really be a privilege, but my schedule may fluctuate, and I will not be able to serve as a co-chair. But thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, I think that probably leaves our new members, and certainly we would be willing to, and I'm sure Patrick would be willing to mentor them as in a co-chair position. So.
If I could just share, Cheryl is amazingly supportive, as well as Miranda. I know Miranda's new to the role, but we're able to lead these meetings because of the CTC staff, and Michelle Bernardo also behind the scenes and all the support. So we do collaborate very well to be able to make sure this is the best meeting possible for everybody. So I get being brand new and coming into something, there may be reservations or worries, but I have no worries with the team that surrounds us. So I just share that for what it's worth.
And Patrick's also not telling you that he's fantastic and he's supportive.
Yeah. So
thank you, Member Bryant.
So we could put this off till next meeting if you'd like. That's the other option. You guys can all
we self-nominate or no?
You could self-nominate. I don't think there's any prohibition on it.
Might be good at this point to have somebody share that they may be interested.
Yeah,
Think twice.
I could nominate Jessica Bogdanovich if she'd be interested.
I can try it. I just went through all kinds of accreditations, so my AQUIP is done, CTC is done, and I think I'm free for this upcoming year. But I'll try it out if you will have me.
And you got a nomination there from Member Hallis, and I think what you'll see, and if you've seen our meetings before, I think we're a very collaborative group that looks at the positive intentions of everybody. So I just appreciate you being starting in. You bring expertise, and it may be the process that might be new, but the expertise is there. So
Great. Okay, so we have a nomination. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Ellen. Any other nominations? All right. So let's go ahead and do a roll call vote.
Allison Leggett,
Aye.
Ann Jones,
Aye.
Patrick McKee,
aye.
Alan Hallis,
Aye.
Nicholas,
Aye.
Nika Bryant,
Aye.
Liana Sykes,
Aye.
Connie Campbell,
Aye.
Michelle Hall.
Aye.
Great. Motion carries.
Motion carries. Congratulations. And Member Bogdanovich, would you like to share anything about your excitement in this journey of this new role as the co-chair on the Committee on Accreditation?
I'm not sure about excitement. I'm enthused to learn. Like I said, I just successfully took my university through AQUIP accreditation, and we just did our 7th year report for CTC. So I think I'm ready to learn the other side and the behind the scenes part of it, and just welcome any mentorship and any new learnings that can come from it. So excited to have the opportunity. And thanks for the faith.
Thank you very much. All right.
So, and I look forward to meeting you in person and your collaboration as well. So thank you to all of you. We look forward to an amazing year ahead as we are on this collective journey together. So I appreciate the support of everyone. And thank you, Ms. Hickey, and to your entire staff. I mean, you really are here to ensure the success of all the institutions and all of us. So it is appreciated. So with that, we are going to move to item number 11, which is the discussion of the recommendations to the commission regarding programs that have not completed the SB 488 literacy certification. And once again, we have Administrator Cheryl Hickey who will present this item, and this is an action item.
Thank you. All right. So as many of you know, and many of you have participated from your own institutions, we've been engaged in implementing the literacy certification piece of the SB 488 work. The SB 488 work required the commission to do a number of things: update the standards and the TPEs related to literacy instruction for multiple subjects and ed specialist and single subject, and for the new PK3 credential as well. The other thing it required us to do was to develop a new literacy performance assessment, which is basically ready to roll. And I think the first opportunity for candidates to take the exam, I believe, is the sign up is for September 23rd or something like that. It's coming up for it. It's this academic year. We've had pilot tests, we've had field tests. And then the last thing was that the commission certify all preparation programs that are applicable to this prior to basically requiring the LPA. And so we have been working really hard. The institutions have been working really hard, and reviewers have been working really hard to get everybody to the commission to be formally approved. We have, I should have come this morning with the numbers. I don't have the numbers. Miranda may have them at her fingertips because she's been right there with me on this. What our leadership was concerned about, what happens if an institution does not get there. And what, you know, in talking with our executive director in particular, really felt like there's an accreditation role with those institutions. And so we've been thinking about it. And What we hope to not ever have to do this, but this is our proposal, is that it come to the COA, that the COA take a look at any institutions that has not met or haven't gone to the commission for formal certification by their October meeting. So we would be able to put all the remainders on in August. We're working really hard to get as many as we can on August, and then any of the remaining ones on in October. If there are any that have not been formally approved at that point in time, we bring them to you. And we bring them to you for to go on probationary stipulations for the sole purpose of really getting them up to speed on the literacy standard. So we've been struggling with a little bit of the timing on this because we want to make sure that institutions have had sufficient time to do this. We started this process in October of last year in terms of certification, really ramped up reviewing things beginning in, I would say, end of December, early January, and we have been nonstop since that time. So I feel confident, and I'd like to ask Miranda I feel confident that any institution that is giving it their best effort and is working with us will get approved. There may be an institution or two that is struggling after October, but I believe the vast majority will be approved by October. So that's the proposal in front of you. We wanted this to come from the COA because it is an accreditation role. We would then take this to the commission at their August meeting, and the commission will weigh in on it and make the decision about whether or not to do this. But so this is our opportunity to get your thinking and your input to see if you believe that there is an accreditation role and what that would be. And it would allow us then to really hone in on those institutions and give them extra support. We've been giving as much support as we can, but whatever support they need, we will try to give them that support. And again, like I said, I hope we don't have to use this, but it does give us that additional leverage and support mechanism for those institutions. Miranda, I'm going to open it to you, and sorry, see if you have anything else to add about this possibility.
No, exactly. Like you said, we're hoping to get as many as we can on August and the remaining in October. And just within that time, we're committed to supporting the institutions to make sure we can get them on that agenda. Several office hours scheduled, and we're also scheduling appointments outside of office hours. So, we want to make sure we get everyone through and that we're providing them with the support and resources that they need.
And I see Member Jones, and one thought I just have out loud is these institutions still are preparing candidates for TPE 7 and literacy. So they're still accredited that they're supporting candidates for the LPA.
Right.
So this is all about how do we support them? Because in the end, they're accredited to support their students with literacy. So that's how it's interwoven in thought. And I do appreciate that. Member Jones, questions and wonderings?
Yes, question and wonderings. So I guess I just want to think this through, and I appreciate, Cheryl, that I know behind the scenes an awful lot of thought about what this could mean. But it's not just there could be downstream considerations. So I guess my question is in multiple parts, but all related. Does this mean if we go with this recommendation for that level of stipulations, that probationary stipulations, that then sort of the next step is denial of accreditation? And so is there thought, number one, I guess question is there thought that we as a body would be prepared to consider denial of accreditation for programs that just weren't able to meet the mark? So that's one question. Another question would be, so if an sponsoring institution has a wide variety of programs and the institution is the one that is accredited and they have programs that are not impacted directly by these literacy standards, what does it mean for their ability to sponsor those programs? So I guess those are my two questions.
Yeah, so those are really good questions, and trying to think all of this through, which has been difficult. But I think in your accreditation handbook, you have the authority to close a single program and not deny the entire institution if it is one program out of, more than two, basically. So that is one option. I honestly don't think we will get to that. An institution would have to be basically telling us we're not going to do it, kind of thing, to get to that. I think everybody so far has been cooperative, and if anything, it's more about really us communicating and trying to figure out what we need and what they think they have that they're not showing us in the right way. Those kinds of conversations, rather than we're not doing this, we don't believe in the science of reading or whatever. We haven't gotten any of that kind of pushback at all. So I think it is important to think about what the next step is if there is, 3 or 4 institutions that fall in that category. But the hope would be just to work with them to bring them up to speed and not to close them down. That's not our intent at the moment.
So it sounds like we're trying to establish the process of the what ifs without the expectation that we would have to utilize the process. But even if we
True.
had to utilize it, we still have a voice in utilizing it. We don't necessarily have to close it. We could say, give them 1 more month, and
Yeah,
there's still a decision or a vote that would have to happen.
Right. Like anything else you do right now with your accreditation decisions. So you could take each one case by case to see what's happening and what's been done, how much progress they've made, those kinds of things. Yeah, absolutely.
Member Sykes?
You kind of answered this, but a question that's coming up for me is like, 1, do we have a sense of the number of programs? 2, do we know what might be some of the reasons they're not yet complete with the revisions that are needed to their certification? And then I know that this CTC is, you're at capacity when it comes to staff responsibilities. I'm wondering about additional technical assistance for these, if it's a handful of programs that need to, get to the completion stage of their certification, and what the possibility is around that. Like, are they in need of extra support, I guess is the question.
That's I'm glad you raised that, because that was one of the ideas that we batted around, is that, obviously staff will give whatever support we can, but reaching out to other institutions that have excellent programs that we know of to help assist those programs, those other programs. So that would more likely be the case than.
Yeah, I mean, I think because if what you're sharing is that it's not that the institutions don't want to complete the certification, there is something that's occurring within their structures or personnel capacity that has delayed the completion of it. And so it's like, okay, how could we collectively support those few institutions?
Absolutely. Thank you for reminding us that we've had those conversations, because I think that'll be a critical piece of it.
Member Campbell.
Thank you. I also was thinking about the peer-to-peer support option, and I think that happens very naturally, generally, and is it's pretty easy to find your support in this industry. And I wondered if you could make a recommendation at some point that you need to reach out to some peers. And some are not as connected. So could there be something formal? Could some peers say, I'm happy to be on that list, or, that kind of a thing?
I like that. Great.
It goes back to what we were saying earlier. Our collective work is look at everyone's good intentions. Everyone's trying to do a great job, and how do we support them? In the end, if something doesn't happen, we're an accreditation body here, and what would be those next steps? And it's just kind of having a process that no one really wants to have to use, but also figure out where this all lands on all the what ifs that we hope we never have to navigate.
You had asked about some of the reasons why institutions are not aligned yet, and I don't know if Miranda might want to speak to that a little bit. I don't want to give you a voice in this.
No, yeah. So with the summer months, I think it's been challenging too, because a lot of faculty and staff are out, and so institutions have been waiting for them to return so they could dedicate more time and resources to it. So we have been giving extensions there, and being in constant communication, I think, as well, just to make sure that that we're on track. So that's been a part of it over the last couple of months. And also, our reviewers, they're volunteers. And so they went away for the summer as well, but, we're picking back up. We've scheduled a number of sessions for this month. And so, again, we're kind of all hands on deck trying to make sure that we get these through efficiently and effectively.
And I think the vast majority of those that are left are close. They've got, they're on their second or third review. And so there's pieces that we're looking for. There's a handful that are probably farther that we've had some challenges with, but we're working closely with all of them. So
with that, it's an opportunity for any other questions, comments, discussion, but it's also a motion if anyone would like us to approve the recommendation. So I see a member Hall.
Just one question real quick. What would be the timeline between the October meeting and then the notification for them that they're going to be in the stipulation bucket and their timeline to respond?
that's a good question. So I think we need to work that out with this body here. And we would probably do that at the October meeting, try to figure out, okay, what is the next step? We're going to put these institutions on probation, and what timeline do you want to see something back? Obviously, you would meet again in what date did we just approve?
January.
In January. So we could have some sort of update in January on that. But we would notify the institutions immediately and start continue to work with them closely. But I don't know if that helps answer the question. We haven't thought too far beyond that yet.
Member Campbell?
Yeah, I would support Member Hall's comment, and also thinking about the fact that these institutions are continuing to train teachers for as long as they're not meeting these standards. So I just think that's an important consideration for that timeline.
Thank you, Member Campbell, because kind of on my mind also, like these organizations have students who are taking the LPA, and so where's the service/disservice to the future people who may have to continue, and they're being accredited that they're doing these things that may or may not be being done through the documentation. So I guess from a logical sense, I see how it falls to the Committee on Accreditation in terms of having a process. And this is simply saying that upon the recommendation, there would be a process. Member Hillis?
Yeah, I think getting to exactly what you just said is it feels like we're all supportive of the idea of some kind of designation, but what's not totally clear is what that process would actually consist of in terms of steps, actions, so on and so forth. And so I think maybe for that October meeting, have something that's pretty clearly laid out so that we know exactly what we're voting for in terms of moving forward.
Okay. And that certainly could be doable. We'll bring something back in October with a more fleshed out process.
Because it's an action item, do we have to vote to have this at October's meeting with additional detail, or can it?
Yeah, you can include that in the motion. Yeah.
So in the event that there's anyone that would like the added information, because it's an action item, we would then need to have someone move to vote to table this to October to take a look at that process that was talked about. Or someone could move to approve the recommendations. It's really up to this group.
I would prefer you not table it because the commission's agenda is going forward in August.
Okay.
And we wanted to present this in August. So what I would do is, if we could approve the recommendations with the understanding that we will bring a fleshed out process for what happens if somebody gets probationary stipulations. We'll bring that in October. And I think it would be helpful to maybe make a note about the peer-to-peer option as to include some, I don't know what you want to call it, focused peer assistance and support, and maybe formalize that as Commissioner, as Committee Member Campbell mentioned.
Member Jones?
So that begs another question, Cheryl, just for me to clearly understand. would that mean that in October we would have another opportunity to vote on what we think is appropriate details for probationary stipulations, or would that just be information?
No, you could vote. We can make that a full agenda item.
Okay, that's helpful.
So what I'm hearing as a possibility is this is an action item. We could vote to approve the staff's recommendation as outlined here for the process to be provided to us at the next meeting and make that an action item for the approval of that process. Okay. I'm glad when I can think through the thought process.
So
That's
what
an
we would
idea.
bring in October is what's the process once an institution has been deemed probationary for the purposes of this SD 488 stuff.
Okay.
And it also would be helpful because we'll get the feedback from the commissioners at the August meeting that we can then bring to October to add to the mix in this.
And maybe at that time, we probably would know what we're talking about, 2 programs, 3 programs.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or like the realities and the whys of things. So again, this is an action item. Is there a motion on this item? And I have Member Hillis.
I should have delayed just for a sec. Could have let Ann jump in. Okay. I'd like to make a motion that we accept the recommendation for probationary stipulation for institutions that do not meet the literacy certification by the October meeting, and the opportunity to vote on a process that arises out of that probationary stipulation designation.
And in your motion, are you adding that there'd be a peer review component or peer collaboration component?
I guess I would just say that would be part of the process that we're voting on.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I want to make sure we talked about everything. Is there a second on Member Hillis's motion? Member Jones? So this will now go to a roll call vote. So we'll have staff call roll.
Allison Leggett,
Aye.
Ann Jones,
Aye.
Patrick McKee,
Aye.
Alan Hellis,
Aye.
Nick Hillis,
Aye.
Micah Bryant,
Aye.
Brianna Sykes,
Aye.
Connie Campbell,
Aye.
Zika Bogdanovich. Can you hear her?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Michelle Hall.
Aye.
The motion carries, and it sounds like we have our first one of our agenda items for our next time around. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Ms. Hickey. So now we're going to open to public comment. Those of you in the room, please make sure you have turned in a public card, and we have no one in the room, well, besides staff. If you are joining us via video conference, please remember to use the raise hand icon, or if you're joining us via the toll-free number, press *9 on your phone to inform the meeting moderator that you would like to speak. The moderator will inform you when it is your turn to speak. Members, I would like to remind you that the committee cannot engage in conversations on a topic during this time that has not been agendized. If appropriate, a topic can be agendized for a future meeting. As a reminder, public comment will be limited to 2 minutes and staff will be keeping the time clock. With that, is there any public comment?
Or no public comment.
No public comments. So with that, having no further business, I adjourn the August 2025 Committee of Accreditation meeting. The next meeting scheduled for the Committee on Accreditation is October 30th. Excellent. So thank you all for being here today. Have a great start to the school year.
Happy school year.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank
And
you.
congratulations to
Thank you.
everyone.
Aye.
Bye.
Michelle,